Playing on a Budget is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the best Magic the Gathering singles and sealed retailer on the internet, GatheringMagic.com, your #1 source for Magic the Gathering news and content, and RogueDeckBuilder.com, my personal channel filled with innovative and entertaining Magic the Gathering rogue brews. Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com with match number 3 with the Green-White Enchantments. We're going to definitely keep this hand. It's okay. It's got the lands that we need. In fact, I think I just start off with the Tranquil Expanse coming into play tapped. I don't think we need to Oath quite yet. So, again, I think that maybe Tranquil Expanse being replaced with Evolving Wilds and throwing Tireless Tracker in here might give the deck a little bit of a boost. I'm also thinking Howled Moonlight is a pretty decent addition to the deck. That'd help us versus that white-black version. So this is going to be most likely, here's the Bant list that we wanted. So hopefully we can keep up here. Getting way land flooded, so let's just Oath here, see if we can get a land out of the way, or a creature here. And we do find the Pantheon. Can't play it this turn. Way too many lands in our hand, but at least the Recruiter does not flip. We'll cast the Pantheon. Dromoka's command is going to be our... Okay, so this is probably 4-color Company. No. Or this... Yeah, I have not a clue what it is. Probably an Eldrazi Displacer here for the Elvish Visionary. Another land. Not what I wanted to see. We'll Pantheon here. Pass the turn. Dromoka's command is definitely our bane of existence. Another card that sees heavy play that might just make the deck unplayable at the moment. Between Tragic Arrogance and Dromoka's command, we have to wait for the metagame to shift while none of those cards are being played. So this is definitely an Aristocrats type build. I'm not worried about either one of these cards quite yet. So I think that we just play him Elemental Bond, and we have Stasis Snare mana up in case he... goes like a Westfell Abbey here. You gotta think a Collected Company is coming up soon. We need a Starfield of Nyx. Yes, our deck is very Starfield of Nyx dependent. That's why the Vessels in here, though. They go through a ton of cards. Looks like our opponent's getting pretty mana flooded, too. I mean, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 available mana. He can start chaining off the Duskwatch Recruiter to find him what he needs. But the later this game goes, I think the advantage is definitely in our favor. I don't think he'd main phase Collected Company. He's going to Reflector Mage here. Which I think in response I have to Stasis Snare. On the Recruiter. And see if he activates the Recruiter here. He does and finds a Sky Spawner. So you can only get in for 1. Don't think I need a Quarantine Field quite yet. We can Silkwrap something, because I can't cast the Pantheon. Yeah, Silkwrap actually seems kind of bad. But I think I need to take down some sort of... aggro. So Sky Spawner going to come out here, or is he just going to Reality Smasher me? Which, when targeted by a spell, we have to discard a card. So Quarantine Field gets around it. Auramancer will be good later on. So we could go for... We could actually Quarantine Field for 2 here. And that's better than nothing. But our opponent is... the card advantage is definitely in the opponent's ballpark here. We're going down to a 9. Another Loam Dryad. That's a beautiful card to draw into. So let's go Pantheon, Vessel, which gains us a life. Sack the Vessel. And I think at this point, of course, we just get the... we can get the Auramancer, get back the Starfield of Nyx anyway. I think that's what we do, is just get the Auramancer. Because that allows us to Auramancer. Can't cast the Starfield of Nyx right now anyway, so I could get the Pacifist and actually cast it this turn, but I think that's just kind of bad. With the Auramancer. And then pass a turn. So hopefully he doesn't have a Collected Company end of turn. Otherwise, that's the worst card in his hand that we could deal with. Yeah, that's just me game. He'll find Visionary and Displacer. Oh, that's annoying. I think we're still okay. He gets to draw a lot of cards here with that combo. So this is the infinite combo. Displacer. He does need a Zulport Cutthroat still and the Broodwatch Monitor. So we have to find like another quarantine field as soon as possible. And I actually don't want to cast the Starfield of Nyx because of turning all of my stuff into creatures is not the right route I want to go. I guess grabbing Pacifist would have been better than Auramancer because we do have an Elemental Bond. So he's going to Displacer. He's just going to try to out aggro me here, which is a decent strategy. Puts me down to a 3. And he does have activations off the Displacer. Not a card I wanted to see. We can Auramancer for a Vessel. But unfortunately, we have to go Pantheon here. I don't know if we can actually stabilize. Just one more turn away again. Because we can't sack that this turn. And he can Eldrazi Displacer in a turn. And then Eldrazi Displacer. And then Eldrazi Displacer and I die, I believe. Yep, he has perfect mana for that. All right, so go on to the sideboard. I think we need to bring in as much hate as possible. I think this is where, is the Dromoka's command good in this particular one to fight off? Probably not. I think Planar Outburst needs to come in. We don't need Starfield of Nyx in this particular one. I don't care about Pulse necessarily, or even the Auramancer in this particular one. It does get back. I think I'd rather have one of Den Protector. Don't need the quarantine fields at all. I think quarantine fields are actually kind of weak in this one. So we'll bring back another Den Protector, another quarantine field. This allows us, some sort of... Gryff Boon's probably not the right call in this one either. I might just bring in one of Dromoka's command, just because I can abuse it with the Den Protector. The Pulse does give me some 6 life shenanigans and a card back. I'm actually liking Pulse with Vessel. I'm thinking it might want to be mainboarded. We still have to figure out the right list. I think this deck has merit. We've lost every match so far, I'll admit that. But that's how a lot of brews start, is you have to find the particular numbers of each of cards and which ones are working, which ones aren't. We'll submit this. This is definitely keepable hand. We will first turn Oath. And then we have a Silkwrap for... I don't know if I want to waste a Silkwrap on like a Loam Dryad. Displacer has to go. Hope he didn't bring in any sort of destroy enchantment card that he can flicker. We get a Den Protector here. Pass turn. There's a Sigil. That's a good card. I don't think we have to cast anything this turn, so we'll just Canopy Vista into play tapped. We still have a Planar Outburst that we can really punish our opponent with after Collected Company. Hopefully we can get the mana in time. Wonder instead of a Gryff's Boon, if just a one of Helm of the Gods is the right call. If I'm going Helm of the Gods, though, I think I'd want to splash black. And when I want to splash black, then for the Shambling Vent, then I'm in all sorts of cards I want, like Transgress the Mind and probably Wasteland Strangler. Wasteland Strangler does have good synergy off Elemental Bond, and that could replace the Lambholt Pacifist. This guy is going to get a Silkwrap because he's annoying. Ugh. Maybe I don't think we just Den Protector here. We have to Silkwrap the Advocate. So we needed to hit a land drop. We missed it. Our opponent is missing white. But green is definitely the color. There's a Vessel's actually really good here because it has synergy with the Den Protector. We'll definitely get a land off the Vessel. Unless there's just something much more. Alright, so we're one land away from a Planar Outburst. Taking 3. And it'll Sky Spawner again. Which I still think it's another Vessel here. So we didn't hit the land, but that's fine. He can overextend one more turn. And we'll just get a Tranquil Expanse is fine. And then pass the turn. Taking a lot of damage here, but the Planar Outburst is going to wipe the board. But he could be holding up Collected Company, but at least we get rid of the Sky Spawner type. Crypt with Right. He can go crazy here. No, put this choose attack in, which means no Collected Company's in his hand. So we'll Planar Outburst. I guess he can. Yeah, he could sack his Scions. But then they would die in response. So still feel really far behind, even though we do have more cards in hand. Just gonna attack in with the Lumbering Falls. I guess that's an okay play. We have the Sigil. This turn we can throw out, and that should start giving us lots of fuel. Oh, does he have a Collected Company? No, okay, it's on his turn. Okay, yeah. Like I thought that was the end of his turn. He was going to Collected Company here. Another Crypt with Right, and I don't even really need to do much. I think we can just Oath of Nissa. Puts out a 4/4. We do hit a land at least that we can play. Which do we Silkwrap just to get some more? Yeah, I do believe we Silkwrap here. Gives us another 4/4. And to be honest, I'm going to take care of the Eldrazi. And our opponent is very mana flooded. See if he Reflector Mages an Angel, which is annoying. And Reflector Mage is another Angel. And I think we just turn over our Den Protector and Planar Outburst. And I don't even need to get back a Planar Outburst. We can just get back anything here. So I think I'll just get back a Vessel or Dromoka's Command. We'll get back a Vessel. Attack in with the Den Protector because he can't block it. Planar Outburst. And then cast the Vessel gives us a 4/4. Now I feel ahead. I think a Pulse needs to be mainboarded. Yeah, Pulse, Den Protector, and one of Dromoka's Command probably wants to be mainboarded. Still not sold on the Lambholt Pacifist. We'll see. So that was a weak card as far as the Pantheon is concerned, but we can sack the Vessel. And gets us a Elemental Bond. Perfect. And then we can attack in with an Angel. Hopefully didn't draw into a Collected Company. Down to 11. And he scoops. All right, we won a game. It took our opponent getting very flooded, though, and double crypt with rights. But all right, let's see what we need to do here. Clip Wing still seems bad. I do like the Pulse. I think I like both the Pulses in here. I think it's just a better strategy than the Auramancer. It's going to be a one of Pulse that wants to be mainboarded for sure. I think we go like one of Den Protector, one of Auramancer, one of Pulse, one of Dromoka's Command in the main board. That gives you a lot more play with particular cards. At this point, maybe the Lambholt Pacifist does. He's bringing the Reflector Mages in like crazy though, so I'm not even sold on the Pacifist. I think I'd rather have Auramancers in here. We'll submit this. Unfortunately, we cannot keep this hand. We'll ship it back. This is fine. And put a Fortified Village on top. That's okay. Got a decent little hand with the Vessel. Dustwatch Recruiter is fast. It's going to flip too, which is terrible for us. There's nothing I could have cast there. So getting it for 3. And that also reduces the cost of his creature spells. Going down to a 17. See if a Sky Spawner comes out here. Displacer. Probably need a land here. in the form of, yeah, Canopy Vista, because the rest of them. We go, now, see, the Pantheon, I think, is just kind of weak. Because we want to cast the Auramancer. I think, yeah, we need the other white source, so it's Canopy Vista. Silkwrap. Actually, Silkwrap is not bad at all. I think I'd prefer that. We can Silkwrap, get rid of the Howler. I think the Howler is actually more of a threat. I could Auramancer to get back, but the Auramancer just chump blocks. We Silkwrap the Duskwatch. I think that's better. Probably should have cut all the Starfield of Nyxes in this matchup. Dromoka's mana would be very good, of course. Westvale Abbey. He does have Collected Company mana now. We can actually Quarantine Field the Eldrazi Displacer. Fortified Village is fine. That allows us just to... Well, it's going to be... I think we just... Yeah, Fortified Village, but it's going to be Auramancer to get back Vessel. But I'm sure he's got a Collected Company in his hand. So might just be a turn behind with this Collected Company that's coming out. Ugh, hope he misses on it. Just bad cards. That was a good card. Okay, there's worse things that could happen. He can start flickering this Displacer, though. Next turn, I think that we might just need to get rid of the Displacer. I'll block here. I need to save the damage. Looks like he had another company in his hand, though, is the problem. Can't believe he's going to... Oh, Cryptophrite, okay. Because I was wondering if he'd want to run into another board wipe. And that's what he did last game that lost him the game. So Stasis Snare is actually interesting because it gives us a Stasis Snare. But he is going to... Or we could Stasis Snare his Sky Spawner when he tries to target it. No, he doesn't sack the Scion here, does he? Yeah, we have to put out our little win con here this turn. I want to hit a land next turn, because then we can go Stasis Snare and just cast a Quarantine Field for nothing. So hold out Settlement. You can attack in for 5 or 6. And he does go Duskwatch Recruiter. Oh, that's perfect. So Silkwrap. Which he will use the Eldrazi Displacer mana here. Which does get it exiled. But the Displacer's just taken care of, and I'm actually going to just run it out right now for the Duskwatch Recruiter. Because then that gives us... He can't activate it. So 3 cards in hand. There can be quite a few problematic cards. We had to use a Stasis Snare, which I want to keep up for the Westvale Abbey. We do have a Vessel we can crack, though. We also have a Quarantine Field. We just block the Rally. The Rally Smasher has to get chump blocked. That was actually a pretty good draw. Do we just win on the backswing here? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage I can do with the Starfield of Nyx. So, yeah, I have to block the Smasher here. This is a very interesting little. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So non-auras. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage off of the Starfield of Nyx. So not quite lethal. Very, very close to lethal. And unfortunately, too, this Canopy Vista is going to come into play tapped. So I could Vessel. It's got to be the Quarantine Field. But if he's got a way to kill my Angel that comes out, I just lose. Which Eldrazi Displacer actually does do it. If I go Starfield of Nyx, we have a ton of blockers, none of which, though, have flying. And so we just die by this Sky Spawner. Oh, no, we will have a flyer. We'll have a flying. I think the Starfield of Nyx is my best play. Quarantine Field is nice, but I think it's more risky. Oh no, that comes to play untapped. Yeah. So I think that's actually the better play. And we're going to take the 1/1 just because at this point, well, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. He Reflector Mages and kills me here. That was stupid of me. Yeah, I just threw that game. Because I would have, he tacks in for 2 now. Alright, so nothing that perfect damage there with the Reflector Mage. I didn't know he had the Reflector Mage in hand. I caught it right as I was doing it. Should have taken care. I was thinking that if I took care of the Scion, that's just less mana for him to try to find a Displacer. But it definitely was the wrong play. See what it was drawn into. I think Starfield of Nyx probably would have been the right play. And had a ton of blockers. The Reflector Mage, you could have just. Oh, no, you would have been a Reflector Mage back the flyer, and I would have died from the Sky Spawner. So the correct play would have been Quarantine Field, the Sky Spawner. I would have taken 1 from the Scion. And then next turn, we would add the Elemental Bond. Actually, next turn, we could actually just Starfield and Nyx and swung in. And no, that wouldn't have quite been lethal either, because he would have a Reflector Mage. But Elemental Bond would have chained off a lot of stuff. Oh well, that was my bad there. We'll go on to one more match. This is Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Playing on a Budget. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Gathering Magic and check out our Playing on a Budget playlist, which contains every episode. Thanks again and hope to see you soon.